Alright. Trying this again. Yeah, I screwed something up when I went live a couple minutes ago. I don't know. I'm an idiot, folks, okay? I don't know how Twitch works. I'm sorry. I should be just doing this on YouTube. I don't know what I'm doing. Oof. Anyway. It has been... blowing out the mic. That's always good. That's always a good thing to do. So amateur. I am such an amateur. Anyway, folks, just came on. I wanted to say, it has been... it's been a fun... Saturday was probably the most interesting day in football since I started doing this whole stream thing. I really wanted to cover Saturday. I really wanted to go live Saturday night, but things came up, and then things kept coming up throughout the week, and I had work and all that. So this is the first time I've finally been able to actually sit down and present to you what happened. What happened on Saturday? Oh, what's the best way to sum up what happened? I think this image. That. I think yeah. It was a big fat oof. A big old oof. Yeah. How do you mess that up? 99% chance of winning. How? 24-7. 24-7 in the third quarter. How do you mess that up? We'll take a look at how you messed that up here in a second. Let me make sure the stream's doing okay, because I'm horrible at this. Oh, looks like it's buffering. I don't know why. Okay, it might be online now. I'm awful at this, folks. I'm sorry. Alright. Assuming things are working now. Oh, let me turn this music down here just a little bit. There we go. We're gonna look at some game footage and see exactly what went wrong for the Oregon Ducks on Saturday, and trust me, a lot went wrong. Pull this up and play. You note the score down there at the bottom, 24-7. 24-7. And one might say Oregon was manhandling Stanford. Now this, I think, yeah, this is the key play right here. Watch. Oh my gosh, he scored. It's like 31-7 now. Stanford can never win. Wait a minute, folks. Wait, hold your horses. Just a cotton picking half second. See, he kicked the pylon there. Now, the rule is, the pylon is technically considered out of bounds. And once he steps on that pylon, the ball is just over the line. So he's... well, that's the key play right there. So he was just out of bounds on that. Alright. So they take the touchdown off the board and they start at like the 1 yard line or whatever. And then the next play is this missed snap to Herbert. And this is where everything falls apart. This is their TCU moment. This is their... I've told you before, Oregon's a first half team. This is their second half wet cardboard mode. Starts right here. Look at that. 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 Yeah. And this was basically the beginning of the end for the Ducks. Well, hey. Oh, so sad. So sad. But surely, okay, 24-13, one mistake. You still got a pretty good lead. How can, you know, you still got this one in the bag, guys. How can you mess this up, huh? How can you mess up? Well, you're the Oregon Ducks. That's how you mess it up. That's how you mess it up. Skip ahead a little bit here. Ah, beautiful. Just beautiful. That's a good one. Well, great. Now it's a considerably closer game than it was. Considerably closer. Let's go on a little bit ahead here. I want to see if I can find that fumble. Oh my god. Ah, well, see, look, they got another touchdown. Alright, surely they can hold on to a 10-point lead for 4 minutes, right? Right? No, they can't really do that, can they? They can't really do that. I'm just trying to find the good parts here. And right here, the Ducks fumble. This is the moment you knew they were done. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Just look at that.
Williams who came in there and punched the ball loose. Yeah, and then the ball's on the ground.
Yep, fourth quarter, 5 seconds left on the clock. They got the 3-point lead. Oh, so sad. So sad. So they win the overtime. Yep, flashback to TCU, I call that. Boop. Yep, there we go. Stanford up by a touchdown. Oh. Such a shame. Now, if I remember correctly, at one point... Yeah, there was some kind of controversy about Mario not calling a timeout or punching when he... I don't remember. I should have done this Saturday when it was fresh in my memory. Look, point is, Oregon blew it, okay? And it was fantastic. It was glorious. It was just amazing. Just the amount of failure. The amount of just curling up and dying in the second half that they did. And according to John Canzano, our resident master of the hot take, Oregon Ducks loss to Stanford was a total collapse. Don't kick the pylon. Also keep 2 hands on the ball. Also think about taking a knee. Those are among the lessons learned by Oregon on Saturday, so don't anyone call what happened to the Ducks anything other than a complete self-inflicted collapse. One that Oregon should learn from and never forget. Hashtag never forget 9/11, you guys. Final score, Stanford 38, Oregon 31 in overtime. If anyone asks, tell them Oregon blew Stanford out on Saturday, and also lost in overtime. No doubt, the Ducks pulled a loss straight out of the jaws of victory. They're pretty good at that, you guys. The Ducks have blown leads. They've blown leads bigger than that, you guys. They've blown leads you haven't even dreamed of. They've blown leads they never even had. Oh, so good. So good. We had opportunities to close out the game, Cristobal said, but we didn't do so. A poorly officiated game? Maybe. I have a little thing to say here. If you're whining about the if you think the referees cost you a game, I'm sorry, you're a sore loser. I don't care. I don't care what team you're on, who you're playing. If you think the whole game came down to the referees being biased against you or something, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. We haven't even gotten to the good stuff yet, folks. But anyway, here's a couple of my favorite tweets from after the game. If I was Oregon's AD, I'd send a video of that non-TD call to the offices and ask for those refs to be suspended. And this sensible guy, the pylon's out of bounds. Since the ball didn't cross the line when he kicked the pylon, it was the correct call. That wasn't explained by the refs, but that's the rule. Yes, and if UO hadn't taken a relatively easy 1 yard to go, and I was giving him the pretentious voice, but this guy's sensible too. Or not fumbled late, they would have won. Not only was the call correct by the rule, it shouldn't have been crippling for the Ducks. The Ducks killed themselves. Oh, believe me, the Ducks weren't innocent in this. Mario should be fired for that non-kneel down, but they still got screamed by the stripes multiple times. Someone's a little salty. Someone's a little angry. So good. Haven't even gotten to the good stuff yet, folks. Okay. Now, I've talked about Jerry and Jorgie before on here, but that was in the stream that got unfortunately cut short, so no audio of that exists. Unfortunately, Jerry Allen and his co-host Jorgie, they host the Duck football games, and on the radio they're the announcers, and it's as if it is as if they hired a fan to announce, someone who doesn't really know that much about football, but he's really into it, you know. So it is very hard to follow a game that Jerry announces because he's just a little too into it emotionally. Like, especially when things are going wrong. If things are going wrong for the Ducks, that's when things get really funny in the booth. Because Jerry will be like, "All right, guys, he's got the ball in it. Oh, they should have called that, guys. They should have called that. Oh, this is dumb. Oh, give me a break. Yeah, I guess they're lining up for the. Can you believe they didn't call that? Oh, come on." I'm clipping the mic like a jerk. I'm sorry. I think I got my gain a little high. That a little better? I think that's a little bit better. Maybe I'm nuts. Anyway, Jerry's pretty. Oh, one time last year, they were getting beat by somebody. I don't remember who, but Jerry just went into this unrelated story. In the middle of the game, he just goes into this story about Reese's peanut butter cups and how he found them in the store, but they were out of them at one store, so he's like, I better get to another store to buy them. He just didn't want to talk about the game. It was hilarious. And I think a couple weeks ago, he just has these gems that he spouts off with. It's pretty great. A couple weeks ago, it was he was talking about how much he loves Neil Diamond, and he was in the car rocking out and singing along to a song, and then someone pulled up next to him. They were giving him a funny look, and I quote here, "I didn't even care, man. I just kept on rocking. I love music." It was just so old, such an old man thing to say. I love music, you guys. uh, Anyway, I guess that's not really related to anything. Jerry, he didn't really have. I wasn't listening to Jerry for this game, but I don't think he really had any gems. I did tune in a couple times, but I was watching it on the TV. But afterwards, after Jerry and Jorgie do their thing, there's a call-in show that comes on KUGN 590 AM afterwards, and it's another guy who sounds like he always has a cold. He just takes call-ins from Duck fans, and it is so entertaining after they lose because you just get the best salt, man, the most angry people. Stream's apparently buffering a lot. I don't know why. Killing me. Killing me. Oh well. Anyway, get the angriest calls on Duck Talk afterwards when they lose. Now this week's not the best they've been. They were okay. There was a little salt, but you know it was the first loss of the season, so the fans aren't really that shattered yet. I mean, a couple more losses and the calls will get progressively more hilarious. Anyway, I had the foresight to record Duck Talk this week, so I'd like to share some of that with you, and then we'll get into probably what you've been waiting for me to get into, but that's I'll hold that off for a minute. Alrighty here. I recorded the whole hour of Duck Talk, but I've tried to edit it down to just the call-ins, so there's gonna be some like cuts in here that you'll notice. Let's see if this will play.
Well, the post-game show is on the way here.
So awkward.
And you could join us at 686-0590. Nick is anxiously awaiting your call back in the studio. More than 58,000 on hand, a raucous crowd. The student section was packed. And the question is, it's a gut punch of a loss, but this is kind of on the coaches and the guys to see if they could limit the damage of the loss and not let it have any carryover. Is that an accurate statement?
Well, yeah. I think that all Oregon fans can be proud of the effort of the team. They played their rear ends off, but you know it's just they have some weaknesses. We talked about it before the game. The corner play, they continually were getting beat, and.
This is completely unrelated to anything, but I am drinking some really good apple cider right now I got from a local farm. It's just so good. I just wanted to share my joy with you real quick.
Part of it looks like maybe technique. There needed to be some corrections made well before then, because it's just, my word would be pathetic when you can just sit there and go, hey, they're going to throw a long one down the sideline. And, you got to be better than that. And I'm sure that Cristobal and the rest of the coaches are going to, put that to the team, because there's some really good things to learn from. But it's just,
I can believe we forgot to mention this. I'm going to get back to this in a second, but preparing for the game, I read an article somewhere that Mario showed the team a boxing match between Mickey Rourke and Arturo Gatti, but blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm talking about. He showed them a boxing match to teach them, I don't know, perseverance or something, but I don't know. Maybe you should have shown them a football game, Coach. That might have helped a little bit.
Lose a 10-point lead in 4:39 is just, it's not good. It's just, it's not good.
Nope. All right, 6860590. I know we have a couple of callers on the line who would like to have their say about this evening's developments. Let's get to it and bring in Jim. Jim, good evening. Thanks for. Oh, Jim dropped. Let's go to Todd. Todd, good evening. Thanks for calling the fifth quarter post game show. What's on your mind?
Hey, longtime Duck fan. This started at.
The first caller was the best, guys. None of the other calls compared to the first caller. He's the best because he's just brutally honest. He's brutally honest, and nobody really wants to hear it. But okay, listen.
It's the program. We can blame Willie. We can blame this. We can blame that. But Alabama wouldn't accept this. Somebody else wouldn't accept this. But Oregon does, because we're all under this big fluffy magnet that we're pretty and big and got great facilities. Oregon football sucks right now, and it sucks to be a Duck fan. Good night.
Just a truth bomb. Now watch. Now the stuffy nosed host is gonna try to actually. Am I clipping the mic again? Come on.
Take it easy. What is blaming Willie Taggart for what? He was here for a year. Apparently they recruited pretty well. He brought in a staff that people seem to be happy with.
He really helped
talking
us.
about the caliber of Jim Levitt's
He's
defense
only done good.
And Keith Hayward.
Willie's
So
only blessed
people,
us.
I think, were venting towards Taggart because of the way he left, not blaming him for the state of this program. That doesn't make any sense. And Alabama wouldn't accept this. Alabama went through some miserable seasons before Nick Saban arrived. I mean, right now, it's real easy to be a Golden State Warrior fan and an Alabama fan and, a Chicago Cub fan and act like it's always been autographs and sunglasses. I mean, these things do go in cycles. So let's not get too carried away. I mean, that is a gut punch, awful loss. And since the end of the Alamo Bowl, Oregon absolutely has been trying to claw back to division and conference and national respectability.
Back,
they had a golden opportunity slip through their fingers tonight, no question about it. All right, 6860590. Let's get right back to the fifth quarter post-game hotline and bring in Abe. Abe, good evening. Thanks for calling. What's on your mind?
Yeah, Steve. Well, my wife and I went to the game. I've got to say, I hate to be that guy who blames the refs for losing. I mean, and I know we fumbled with a minute left, but to see two calls where the defender for Stanford has his back turned and he has his hands on the Oregon player.
He's talking, but all I'm hearing is whining.
And to have the refs do nothing, that was thoroughly disappointing, I have to say.
All right, yeah, there was one call on Dylan Mitchell. I'm sorry, one non-call on Dylan Mitchell in overtime, where I literally think everybody, including the Stanford defenders, were kind of like, well, where's the flag? That never came. Man. But, when you have a 24-7 lead and the ball on the 1 yard line and you're dominating and you lose, I'm not really going to accept pinning this one on the officials.
But he will later.
Let's get to
Don't worry.
Fifth quarter post-game show hotline and welcome in Rick.
This guy, the host here, he keeps as the hour went on, he was blaming the reason for losing on like 20 different things. It would change. After every commercial break, he'd have a different reason for why they lost. So we say, we can't blame the refs for this one, guys. And then like 15 minutes later, it was the refs' fault. It's pretty good.
Rick, good evening. Thanks for calling. What's on your mind?
Hey, how are you doing tonight?
Okay, I'm good.
Okay. Hey, so
I love when people call and do a show and they're trying to like do a little conversation, but it's just awkward. Bill, you're on the line. Hi, how are you? I'm good. How's the wife? Get to the point.
I just think the program right now just lacks a bit of this character. There's a little bit of character issue here. There's mistakes being made when they shouldn't be made, and it's a character thing, and I don't know why that is. It's an internal issue, and I think the program has a
Could it be that the Ducks tend to have a lot of criminals on their team? I'm just saying. It seems like they get in trouble with the law a lot. I don't. Just a little thought I'm throwing out there. You might not be recruiting. When your recruiting is based on flashy facilities and promising being elite and stroking people's egos, I don't think you're going to get the best quality of student athlete. That's all I'm saying. I don't think you're going to get any Einsteins on the team.
a little bit maybe more internal issues than we know of, and the kind of athletes that we have right now. I don't know. I don't want to say this, but it looks that way a little bit, that we're thinking about maybe ourselves a little bit more than maybe thinking about the Ducks and getting to the next level, and just a little bit. And that's a problem.
It's a problem.
So hopefully Mario gets this straightened out. Hopefully we recover, because there's no way that game should have been lost tonight. And
I'll counter that statement with, there's no way you should have ever been in a spot to win that game, and then things evened out, Things came back around. It resolved itself.
It looked to me like it's just a character issue right now.
All right, I appreciate the call, and in the immediate aftermath, you really need to do some soul searching, because for all the good things that happened and all.
Read your Bible, pray a little, just maybe go on a spirit walk. Personally, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna set up a little shrine to Chip Kelly and say a few Hail Marys. It's a trying time for us all. Hold tight, my children.
The sense of unity and how the guys are together, and like they were saying, not going to point any fingers. It is a brutal loss, and it could send the season in a different direction.
Oh, I hope so.
Because momentum is a fickle fella. Actually, what? I want to address that, but right now, live from Autzen Stadium, it's the fifth quarter post-game show courtesy of Xfinity. We'll take a break. We'll come back, and as I like to say, we will commiserate a little bit more here on KUGN News Talk 590 and 95.3 The Score.
Eugene True Value Hardware on 28th and Willamette. Great bargains and everything you can imagine for the do-it-yourselfer. A proud supporter of the Oregon Ducks and the True Value Player of the Game.
I'm gonna pause here to say True Value kinda sucks. Jerry's Hardware, man. Jerry's Hardware is where it's at. Trust me. Don't go to Home Depot.
Yeah, this is one of those losses for players or coaches in the coming weeks or the rest of the season, or who knows, a quarter century down the road. You wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat and say, how the heck did that happen? The fifth quarter post-game show brought to you courtesy of Xfinity. What is that noise? Making it easy to access all your favorite entertainment at home and on the go. Xfinity, the future of awesome. I thought we were having tubular bells and we needed some kind of an exorcism. But
it's the spirit of your relevancy. They're saying, Oregon, stop sucking. No, Oregon.
We'll get through it. All right, 686-0590. Let's take the first call of this segment and welcome in Bob. Bob, good evening. Thanks for calling the post-game show. What's on your mind?
Yeah, hey Steve, Bob.
I'm pretty drunk. Yeah.
Hey, what's up?
I'm going to keep it a little simpler here tonight. I'm going to call it just a little bad luck. You're up 24-7.
Oh yeah, bad luck. Couldn't have anything to do with you completely falling apart in the second half because you
after
suck.
watching this team here and just reestablishing our program. But the fact was we were dominating, ready to go in, and find ourselves not just fumbling a bad snap, but giving it up 90 yards the other way for a touchdown. And instead of 31-7, we were 24-14. And even with that, we found many great moments to be resilient on fourth down, both in holding them and capturing one, only to find some bad luck on a fumble at the end. So for me and some of those fans that are wondering about this group and their character, absolutely wrong. They were resilient to the finish.
I'm going to go home and
the momentum that,
drink, probably.
that we
probably
needed
just
here
drink.
to get across, the end of the game with more points. I think that's all the more simple it is for me. So that's where I'm sitting on this one.
All right. Hey, thanks for the simplification. Sometimes we need that. You think about a couple of bounces. And, of course, the team who loses always looks back on this. I always say when you follow football, and as a longtime NFL fan, when the season is over and a team goes 9-7,
that ghost again.
and this is the playoff,
Banging
either a
pots and pans
tiebreaker or a
around.
game,
You
go
got
back to
yourself
the
a
game, you
poltergeist in the
lost by
studio.
3, should have had that one. The game that you had the lead in the fourth quarter, gave up a late touchdown and a late field goal to lose by 6, should have had that one. But the games that you won by 3 and won by 4, you take those for granted. But in a case like this, I mean, the bad snap that ended up the long run, the 80-yard fumble recovery by Alfieri. What if he recovers it and falls down? All of a sudden, Stanford's got the ball. They're still down 24-7, and they need to go 80
we wouldn't have lost at
all.
all.
The deflected pass
I swear.
that ended up the touchdown from Parkinson. I mean, could that deflect up, hit a shoulder pad, and maybe get intercepted? But, Murphy's Law definitely was wearing Oregon's uni tonight. All right, 284-8571.
I didn't know Murphy's Law was so horribly dressed.
That is the wrong phone number, 686-0590. I'll give you the number. You can call me on Monday, which I'm sure a lot of you are going to do.
If that's his personal number, I hope people call him and just order pizzas to his house or something.
Larry, good evening. Thanks for calling. What's on your mind?
Hi, Stephen. Ken, I agree with everything you just said, but there's one key thing, and that's when we have a 6'6", 240 quarterback, we're going to have a goal line offense where you take the snap from the center.
We got ourselves an armchair coach over here.
TCU, Oregon State game when the wind started blowing and stuff, couldn't get a snap to Herbert then. It's a reoccurring nightmare. There's no reason. I mean, it's possible to fumble a center snap, I know. But this Herbert gets 2 tries and he's going to be in the end zone as long as he hangs on the ball. That should never happen. Never. And we got to correct that immediately.
Here's another thing.
Coaching him.
And the ball's on the 1-yard line, but when it gets to the quarterback, the line of scrimmage is now the 6-yard line. So it reinforces the idea about taking a.
I don't know why this is, but there's got to be some way to keep the mic from clipping like that when callers call in. It's just the worst. It is the worst. And I know I'm saying that, and I've clipped my mic a gajillion times tonight probably, but come on, this is supposed to be professional setup, guys. Can you please?
Snap from under center.
Right. Absolutely.
Let's bring back Bob. Bob, good evening. I'm sorry. It's Richard. Richard, thanks for calling. How you doing?
Yeah, hi. Thanks for having me. I've been going to Duck games for 15 years. This defeat, I'm speechless. But I go back to what Vince Lombardi once said: you can't learn how to win until you learn how to lose.
And boy, have you learned. You've learned so much. You should have graduated from this school a long time ago. You should be in like a top level job, okay? You've learned pretty much you've learned every single way to lose you possibly could, okay? You got a big brain now. You're a big brain boy. You're a big boy. You can graduate. Leave. It's like a 30-year-old man who's still in a kindergarten class. Come on, guys. Move on.
I'm with the previous caller where basically, Herbert, God, talk about a fabulous game. Why are we doing the shotgun on the 1 yard line? Point is, mistakes were made. You've got to play 4 quarters, not 3.5, not 3 3/4. And I hope we learn.
The Ducks can't do that. I'm sorry. They're only good for about 2 quarters, maybe 3. Okay, the 4th quarter is not their strong suit. I'm sorry. It ain't gonna happen.
From our mistakes. It is what it is, but the more of the story is you can't learn how to win until you learn how to lose. We need to learn how to close
Somebody
out.
read a motivational
Anyway, good night. Thank you.
quarter-day calendar.
All right, and on that thought, when your team stinks, trust me, I grew up in New York. There were years where the Yankees struggled to draw 1 million people. They got good, they draw 4 million people. So this is not an Oregon thing. This is a fan thing.
He's comparing the Ducks to the Yankees right now, guys.
And regardless, right now, for people who maybe grew accustomed to Oregon closing the deal and, finishing strong against Cal in 2010.
You don't finish strong. You start strong. Oregon starts strong. They never finish strong. They start strong and then they coast their way to the end. If they can't coast their way to the end, they lose. End of story. I'm sorry.
Ice a trip to the national championship game, to clutch first down conversions against Oregon State in the War for the Roses in 2009. And
I want to talk about that game. Still bugs me. Stupid.
Remember,
I'm bitter. I'm sorry.
Game ended an hour and 47 minutes ago. People are still frustrated, and if they want to vent, after a game like that, I think there's kind of an element of logic to it.
Let's all just get together in a circle and do some wolf howls. Just vent your frustration, just primal screams, I think. Primal screams. Yeah, let's do that.
If that makes sense. So, anyway, let's take a break. It's one of the most gut punch defeats that I've seen at Autzen Stadium, and I wasn't born and raised here, but I've been coming here since 1990.
1990? Oh my gosh! How? Teach me your ways. You truly are the master. You have ascended to an elite fan status. 1990. Oh my god. Okay, I'm sorry, but. On one end of the spectrum, you have the bandwagon fans who just became a fan last week because they're winning, But on the other end of the spectrum, you have Mr. I'm such a better fan. I've been doing this since 1976. Rant over.
When you consider what was at stake, how loud opportunity was knocking, how exceptional they were for the first half and even into the third quarter, and how it came unglued from very correctable mistakes, is going to lend itself to an element of frustration. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll hand out the True Value offensive player of the game. Maybe take more of your calls and break down what just happened here. Again, in overtime, the final, Stanford 38, Oregon 31. 95.3 The Score and KUGN News Talk 590. All right, 686-0590. Looks like we have a caller who's been waiting through the break. Appreciate it, and let's get to Paul. You're live on the post-game show. Thanks for calling. What's on your mind?
My pleasure. I might go out of distance. We're driving back to Bend, but the Ducks are back. The callers that are despondent over this, rightfully so. It was a game we should have won, but
I'm sorry. How can you watch that meltdown and your takeaway is, we're back, baby?
The Ducks are going to be okay this year. The thing I would like to see is a little bit more blitzing on defense. They just let Costello sit back there and pick them apart, and they really.
There he goes.
I think he cut out there. Oregon did get occasional heat on the quarterback. They recorded 2 sacks, but I'll tell you what.
Oh, by the way, I have to say, when I was editing this audio, I really had to fix the sound of these call-ins because some of them are just horrible. They were muffled. You couldn't tell what they were saying. It was just awful.
Stanford is a team who understands who it is, its identity, what their strengths are, and they know if they can get those one-on-one matchups with those big, strong wide receivers, and Costello doesn't throw the ball low. He doesn't try and zing it in there. He throws it up there to let his guys make plays, and man, do they, especially when they needed it in the second half, because after all that happened in the first half and then getting close at a critical juncture in the third quarter, Oregon ended up only putting 7 points on the board in the second half. All right, 686-0590. Let's get right back to the phones. Bring in Justice.
We have about 4 minutes left.
Justice, good evening. Thanks for calling the post-game show. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
A man named Justice.
Good. I just wanted to say, first of all, I love the direction the program's going. I mean, you look at Oregon against Stanford the last couple of years, and it's been bad, non-competitive football. To the point of running stuff.
You want to see bad non-competitive football? Look at that second half, boy.
Under center. The 2010 Rose Bowl, we put in the under center goal line package with Masoli and LeGarrette Blount. And Masoli bobbled.
I like to call them the dynamic duo of the local jail.
The snap, threw the ball into LeGarrette Blount's chest, and Ohio State recovered it in the end zone. So, you know, you take what you can out of your normal formation, and sometimes when you put in stuff you don't normally run, bad things can happen then too.
By the way, that's an incredible memory there. Well done. I appreciate the call, Justice. Have a good night and travel safe. Tony, good evening. Thanks for calling the fifth game post-game show. What's on your mind?
Good to talk to you. I had a quick question for you. If I look in the dictionary under false start, well, I see a picture of Stanford's number 72.
Somebody's whining again. Whine.
I appreciate the call breaking up a little bit. I was sitting there with Alex, and there were 2 times where it looked like he was firing off a half beat ahead of the snap, even if it's a quarter beat, and that's supposed to be a false start. But they didn't call it. The play was successful. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't review a non-call.
How do you make a Duck fan whine? No, I messed that joke up. Dang it! Sorry. Dang. Shoot. It was a good one too.
I hate to be negative, but I'm gonna be right now. The one thing that sucks around here are Pac-12 officials. There was one time in the end zone. There's a play down by the goal line, and every official was looking at each other. Nobody had seen it to make a call. And you know, if you make
when you just saying earlier you can't blame this on the refs,
a call and it's wrong, they'll fix it upstairs, right? Well, they do that for Stanford, but
well, his name.
So you know, they'll do it for Stanford, but not for us. Like the subtext here is that the Pac-12 officials they don't want the Ducks. Let me get my tinfoil hat on over here. All right, there's a conspiracy, you guys. They don't want us winning, okay? They're in an unholy alliance with Stanford, all right? They've agreed to rig the game against us, okay? We are the resistance. We are the underground. Never stop fighting. We will win the day.
His name is Walker Little, and you know he's a really good player. But there were a couple of times where I think he might have got away with one. And the play you're talking about, I don't remember ever seeing the officials signal touchdown. And what has bothered me about Pac-12, you want to know something? What first bothered me when I arrived in town in 1990 about Pac-10 officials, what bothers me now about Pac-12 officials is inconsistency. Well, at this point, to talk about the officials in anything other than a negative light might make it unsafe to get out to our cars this evening.
And the truth comes out.
All right, and we'll have, like I said, they play Cal, then there's a bye, and then the Huskies come to town. So there's still a lot on the line in this Northern Division. One more call before we wrap things up on the fifth quarter post-game show. Let's get to the hotline and bring in Bruce. Bruce, thanks for calling. What's on your mind?
Hey, guys. Despite a gut-wrenching loss, that's one of the worst losses I've seen in my many, many years at Austin. It hurts. But I was pleasantly surprised at the way they played. They played a nearly flawless first half.
Grandpa, give me the phone back.
Third quarter,
Grandpa, what are you doing?
31-7.
Come on, Grandpa, give me the phone.
Back, but yet we get the ball first and goal on the half-yard line.
Grandpa. Oh, come on, Grandpa.
Change too, but still a lot of season left. So let's keep our fingers crossed and hopefully beat the Huskies when they come to town.
That ain't happening.
Thanks,
All
guys.
right. Good point. Thanks a lot, Bruce.
All right, I think that's the end of the calls. Okay. That probably went on for a little longer than you guys would have wanted, but I thought it was fun. I thought it was funny. All right, well, so as you could tell, it was a pretty depressing loss, but yeah, Duck fans are a resilient bunch. I'm sure it's not going to get to them. I'm sure they can handle this with dignity and class. Oh, what's this? Oh dear. What Oregon fans did after losing to Stanford proves they're the worst fan base in college football? Oh, well, it couldn't have been that bad. What did they do? This guy looks like a cheerful guy. He's probably just reaching out, giving high fives, saying, "Good game, man. Fair game. You beat us, but hey, I can respect that. You were the better team today." I'm sure that's what happened. Well, let's. Here's the video. Oh, here's the video. Let's see what's going down.
Duck fans are still hurting from the heartbreaking loss against Stanford over the weekend. But some fans were so frustrated with the outcome, they even started throwing objects.
Yeah, volume's a little low. I'm going to see if I can fix that.
At the Cardinal as they were entering the locker rooms after the game. KZI 9 News reporter Brady Wakayama is live in Eugene tonight to show us some of the outbursts that happened at the big game.
Matt, more than 58,000 people were at Autzen Stadium on Saturday, and the University of Oregon Police Department tells me it was all hands on deck to make sure those people were safe. Now, take a look at this video taken by Chantel Jennings, a reporter with The Athletic. As you can see, fans are throwing objects and taunting the Stanford players as they entered the tunnel after their win. Saturday's game was not only the first conference game of the year, it was highly anticipated because of ESPN's Game Day, which visited the U of O campus to start the excitement. A police spokesperson says they had 37 recorded ejections and 4 arrests. He says those numbers aren't extreme and are pretty comparable to other home games against Stanford. The last time Stanford visited was back in November of 2016 when they recorded 33 ejections and made 8 arrests. I spoke with a student who attended Saturday's game. He says it was unlike any other game he's been to.
I mean, people started, tailgating very early. So by the time the game was there, everyone was already, the adrenaline was super high. People were pumped up for this game, and just the whole atmosphere. It was the perfect atmosphere to be in such a game like this. And you had a bunch of Stanford fans in town as well, so that just added more to the rivalry.
I spoke with another fan who was in the student section. She tells me her parents were in another section of the game who witnessed a fight between a Ducks and Stanford fan.
We've dealt with fights before in that, situation, and it's just you try to get everybody to pull back and calm people down and remind them what you're here for, and it's a sports game, but, it's part of the deal.
UOPD say if you're ever in a similar situation to try and de-escalate the situation or to call the Autzen security number. And the U of O Athletic Department told me ejections and alcohol-related incidents through the first 3 games have been actually down this year compared to the first 3 games from
yeah,
last
they weren't losing then.
And they also say that they more than tripled the amount of alcohol monitors throughout the stadium compared to last year.
Got to keep an eye on those rowdy drunks.
As well. Live in Eugene, Brady Wakayama, KZI 9 News.
Oh boy, that's embarrassing, man. That's not very good at all. The Oregon Ducks watched in horror as a big lead against Stanford evaporated, and the Ducks eventually lost to their rivals in overtime. However, none of that excuses fan behavior after the game when Stanford players were jeered, given the finger, and bombarded with trash as they left the field. Oof. Let's just watch this again. Hopefully the volume's not on. This guy's delightful. I love this guy. Oh boy. I think UO's found a new mascot, you guys. I think he should be the face of the program. Little Potbelly sticking out, waving their fingers, drunkenly screaming. Yeah, he should be the new mascot. We'll call him I don't know, Six Pack Sam, Potbelly, looks like Puddles, only more alcohol related. Puddles of vomit from alcohol. Oh man, this is. I think this image is gonna haunt him for a while. I gotta say, that is not a good look. That is not a good look. Oof, man. Oregon, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh. Alright, I don't know if I had anything else to show you guys. I might just cut the stream early tonight. Wish I could have done this, gotten some live Twitter reaction on Saturday, but dang the luck if I ain't late. I am a late boy. Oh, there is one article I think I'll show you. Hold on. There we go. The Pac-12 needs UCLA to thrive under Chip Kelly. The payoff could be significant. Saturday unfolded in glorious fashion for UCLA. No sputtering offense, no penalties or turnovers, no jokes about 0-12 at the start of basketball practice, and no parents bashing Chip Kelly on social media. The relief of a bye week. Little joke there, folks. Little joke, because Chip Kelly sucked. Fascinating as it's been to watch the dynamics unfold, unusual as it is to see Kelly struggle on the Pac-12 sideline, as difficult as it is to envision him getting the Bruins roster turned around, let us make no mistake, the success or failure of, and this is a direct quote, Chippy goes to Hollywood. His phrase. Oh my god. His phrase, folks. His phrase has consequences for the entire Pac-12 for years to come. Oh my gosh. Getting Chip back in the conference is incredibly important. A case could be made that Kelly is one of the most significant football hires in conference history because of where and when it happened. If Kelly transforms the Bruins into a top 10 and top 15 program by the early 2020s, these people are delusional. It's like they just completely forgot his NFL career. All they remember are those 3 years at Oregon, and that is Chip Kelly to them. Anything else he's done is like, oh well, he must have just been having a bad day that 4 years in the NFL. Okay, he can't be a bad coach, guys. He just can't be. I tell you, the level of delusion some sports writers have, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I put all that into the Chip Kelly pot. The pot doesn't need Kelly to duplicate his Oregon success in order to fill with gold. He need merely approach it. Oh boy. It might be the greatest hire in UCLA history. Let's see if they're still saying that at the end of the year. Let's just see if that still stands up. All right. Yeah. Anyway, it's been fun, folks. I'd like to leave you with this image again, just as a final send-off, just as a reminder. Oregon pulled a pretty big oof. It was a pretty big oof. Alright, I'm gonna upload this to YouTube. Hopefully it didn't sound too bad this time. I know I was clipping the mic a few times. I'm just horrible that way. Anyway, it's been fun. Thanks for sticking around. I will see you probably next week. Depends. Oh, who are they? I think we're playing Cal next week. They might beat Cal. I don't know, but when are they? Well, anyway, I think after next week they play Washington, and that's gonna be good, folks. I'm gonna love me some of that because they're gonna lose so hard. Alright, see you later.